Now we are going to discuss about an ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is a structural and a functional unit of ecology in which the living organism will be interacting with each other and the surrounding environment. In other words, an ecosystem is a chain of interaction between organisms and their environment. So, the term ecosystem was first coined by A.G. Tansley. He is an English botanist in 1935. What is the structure of an ecosystem? The structure of an ecosystem is characterized by the organization of both biotic and abiotic components. So, this includes the distribution of energy in our environment and also includes the climatic conditions that will be prevailing in that particular environment. The structure of an ecosystem can be split into two major components, namely biotic components and abiotic components. The biotic component and abiotic components are interrelated in an ecosystem. It is an open system where the energy and the components flow throughout without the boundaries. Biotic components. So, the biotic components refers to all living components in an ecosystem. Based on the nutrition, biotic components can be categorized into different groups. They are called autotrophs, heterotrophs and saprotrophs. Saprotrophs is otherwise called decomposers. First one will be producers. The producers include all autotrophs such as plants, and they are called autotrophs as they can produce food through the process of photosynthesis. Consequently, all other organisms higher up on the food chain rely on producers for food materials. Consumers. The consumers can be regarded as heterotrophs, and these are the organisms that depend on other organisms for the food purpose. Consumers are further classified into primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary and quaternary consumers. So what is a primary consumer? They are always herbivores which can depend on the producers for the food purposes. Next, secondary consumers. So they are organisms that will depend on the primary consumers for the energy purpose. So they can either be carnivores or omnivores. Tertiary consumers. They are organisms that depend on secondary consumer for food, and tertiary consumers can also be carnivores or omnivores. Decomposers. The decomposers include saprophytes such as fungus and bacteria. They directly thrive on the dead and decaying organic matter. Decomposers are essential for the ecosystem as they help in recycling nutrients to be reused by the plants. Abiotic components. Abiotic components are the non-living components of an ecosystem. It includes air, water, soil, minerals, sunlight, temperature, nutrients, wind, altitude, turbidity, etc. Next topic will be functions of the ecosystem. So the functions of the ecosystem are: it regulates the essential ecological processes and supports life system and maintain the stability. It is also responsible for the cycling of nutrients between biotic and abiotic components. It maintains a balance among the various trophic levels in the ecosystem. It cycles the minerals through the biosphere. And also the biotic components helps in the synthesis of organic components that involve the exchange of energy. Next, the type of ecosystem. An ecosystem can be small as an oasis in a desert or as big as an ocean. So majorly the ecosystem is divided into two different categories: terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. So what is a terrestrial ecosystem? The terrestrial ecosystem are exclusively land-based ecosystem, and there are different types of terrestrial ecosystem distributed around the various geological zones. Example: forest ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, tundra ecosystem and desert ecosystem. So forest ecosystem consists of several plants, particularly trees, animal and other microorganisms. In grassland ecosystem, the vegetation is dominated by grasses and herbs. Tundra ecosystem, they are devoid of trees, which means there will be no trees, and are found in cold climates or where rainfall is very scarce. Desert ecosystem, so they are found throughout the world. These are regions with a little rainfall and scarce vegetation. Next will be aquatic ecosystem. The aquatic ecosystem are ecosystem which is present in a body of water. They can be further divided into freshwater and marine. The freshwater ecosystem is an aquatic ecosystem which include lake, pond, rivers, stream and wetland. In marine ecosystem, there include sea and ocean.